Is that 363 public project?
Yes, that's Florida's public project. Slow down because of another investment, a good one. Where is Chairman Fikir? He's a champion. Okay, so let's go back. Congress is back in session. We're now on the bill calendar. There is currently no bill. Florida Harbor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw the following bills to be placed on bill calendar for today for action. Bill number 21-52 and bill number 21-363. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any second?
Second.
That's been moved and seconded that the following bills, 21-52, 21 and 21-363 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Oh,
Aye. Motion carried. Those two bills have now been withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for action. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
First bill, Chief Clerk.
The first bill now under the bill calendar is CB number 21-52 for first reading. CB number 21-52 is a bill for an act to further amend Title II of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia, annotated as amended by amending Section 207 thereof to correct technical errors in the 2014 CFSM Code, annotated, and for other purposes.
Okay. Florida Harbor.
Mr. Speaker, short recess.
Short recess, subject to call for chair. Okay, let's go back. Conference is back in session. Motion for passage.
Speaker,
Floor to the Harper.
thank you, Speaker. I move for passage of first reading of Bill number 21-52.
Okay, any second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 21-52. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. Chief Clerk.
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figuer,
Yes.
Senator Collant, Floor Leader Harper,
Yes.
Senator Conman,
Yes.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Palak,
Yes.
Senator Berman, Senator Romolo,
Yes.
Senator Uruzamal, Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simona.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 13 members voted for the said bill.
CP number 21-52 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
The next bill currently under the bill calendar is CB number 21-363 for first reading. CB number 21-363 is a bill for an act to appropriate the sum of $500,000 from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2021, for the purpose of funding the purchase of a vessel for Chuk State and for other purposes.
Chairman Figuer.
Move for the passage of the bill on first reading.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 21-363. Discussion. Discussion.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Deliberations. To call the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you,
Congress is back in, we're back in session. Chairman Ursimo, you have any comment
Thank
on?
you. Speaker. I was just going to raise my question off record, but I'm crazy about details. Is there any information from finance that this money lapsed? And I guess part of it is because of what Senator Christian said. We're all senators and we don't seem to trust each other.
Speaker,
Leader Harper,
yeah, just for point of information to my brother, Orsimon. It is after consultation with the Secretary of Finance and Budget Officer, SOS. They recommend that I should go ahead and introduce a bill to ask Congress to appropriate the lapse money out of the this amount that is still available for appropriation.
Speaker, it would have been, for me, it would be better if there was a note from the Honorable Secretary of Finance and someone from Budget indicating that the money lapsed and is available for reappropriation by Congress. But that's just me as a person.
thank you. That should be the proper way of doing it. But knowing them, do you think they're going to admit in a written record that they goofed? I doubt it, because they know they don't want to allow this money to lapse without taking action on it. So yes, that would have been the preferred way. Yes, I understand. But for now, we're stuck with this thing because of their failure, and I don't think they want to admit in writing that they failed to process the paperwork for this funding. Okay, any further discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. We'll vote by roll call of members. First reading. Chief Burt?
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian,
Kum sabulman ki kaborobor.
Senator Figuer, Senator Golan,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper,
Oy,
Senator Gunman, Senator Gunman,
Yes.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Neth, Senator Balak,
Absolutely yes.
Senator Berman,
For Chuk, yes.
Senator Romulo,
Am I?
Senator Urusumal,
Kuborobor.
Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 13 members voted for the said bill.
Okay, CP number 21-363 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
There are no more bills, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, if there's no objection, we will now go down to our resolution calendar. Any resolution, short recess, subject to call of the chair. session, if no objection, we're now on the resolution calendar.
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Perman.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I would like to venture a motion to withdraw CR 21-229 into our resolution calendar for today.
Second.
So move.
That's been moved and seconded that resolution number 21-229 be placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Resolution number 21-229 is placed on the resolution calendar for action. Okay, Chief Clerk, read the title.
So conflict.
Under the resolution calendar now is CR number 21-229 for adoption. CR number 21-229 is a resolution designating and appointing
Me.
Mrs. Jessica Lynn Reyes to the position of Chief Clerk to the 21st Congress of the Federated States of Micronesia.
I so move for its adoption.
Second.
That's been
Mr.
moved.
Speaker, I didn't hear the name of the person that were, what was the name?
That's,
Who's being nominated?
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-229. Discussion, Senator Christian, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have nothing to say.
Speaker,
Okay, thank you, Senator Christian. Yes, Florida Harbor.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to state for the record that I do support the resolution, not because of Jessica's qualification for the position, but because she is a Panini of mine, married to a nephew of mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Florida Harbor. Any further discussion? If none,
Question.
there's no objection. Discussion is closed. This is a confirmation and it will be by secret ballot. It requires at least 10 votes. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Chief Clerk,
Let me ask,
Senator. Okay, we're done, Chief Clerk.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I've tallied up the vote.
Let's go back. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, announce the results.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 13 members voted for and one absent.
For that reason, resolution number 21-229, appointing Ms. Reyes to be our new Chief Clerk, has been confirmed by Congress. Let's please give her a round of applause. Okay, thank you. Next,
point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
state your point, Senator Christian.
I also voted for her not because of her qualifications, which she has, but also because of family relationship. And I'd like to also note that she is probably the youngest chief clerk at the moment for Congress, and probably, and of course, is the most beautiful chief clerk that Congress has had. More beautiful than Henry Azucar. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Christian, for those nice words of congratulations to Ms. Reyes. Yes, we look forward to working with her to make sure that the excellent works of our Chief Clerk office continues into the future.
Speaker, point of privilege.
State your point, Chairman Permit.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We all know that Chief Milo will be coming to his 21 days quarantine soon. So I would like to share some thoughts regarding an issue troubling me for some times. Mr. Speaker, Vice Speaker, Floor Leader, and all honorable members of Congress, I wish to share some thoughts with you today regarding an issue that has been troubling me for some time. Our nation is in turmoil. Now is the time that we must provide leadership to quell the fears of our people. We must come together. We must stand united, and we must do what is right for our people. Try to remember when you were a child. Try to recall your 11 or 12 year. Imagine for a moment going out on a boat with your uncle, something we all did. Imagine that you and your uncle are lost at sea. While you are adrift, your uncle dies. You are all alone. You float alone for months. You are terrified. After many days at sea, alone and scared every moment, you finally reach land. You don't have any idea where you are. Are you in your home? Are you in Chuk? No, you are in a strange land with strange people. No one knows you. No one speaks your language. You cannot communicate. You are more scared than ever. The food tastes different than what you are used to. You want your mom and dad. You spend your days in fear. There is no one to provide you with any comfort. There is nothing that you can provide with you or with any comfort. Finally, through some miracle, it is discovered that you have an uncle who is also in this strange land. Arrangements are made, and you are reunited with your uncle. You finally are able to communicate, eat food you are familiar with, and find the slightest bit of comfort, something you haven't felt for months. Arrangements are made for you to return to your home, to return to the Federated States of Micronesia. You live on a ship for several months while everything is finalized. You have no kids to play with, no school work to do. As time goes on, you become stressed once again, not knowing when you will be able to return to your home and family. You do the best you can, but it's hard, very hard, not to know what is happening. Finally, the time has come to head for home. The excitement builds. You think of your family, who you have missed so much, your parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, your friends you can finally play with. The ship departs and you spend many days at sea. Finally, the ship arrives in Pohnpei waters. No one speaks directly to you about what is happening, but you hear people talking. The leadership in Pohnpei do not want to let you come in. You are stuck on the ship. After a few days of not knowing what is happening, medical personnel come onto the ship and do the test. You are told that the captain of the ship is sick and everyone must isolate in their rooms. You are all alone and isolated for days. And this is where you remain to this day. I am sure that many of you are familiar with this story. This is the story of a young Melson Tilipi. Did you all know his name before I just shared with you? I have not heard his name until now, and I am learning more about this sad story. This young man has been traumatized for months. He has suffered and likely suffer ongoing trauma throughout his life because of this experience. Currently, he and the crew of Chief Milo have been ongoing. Chief Milo has been stranded on this ship for weeks, actually months. The crew of the FSM national government employee. There are there were s- They were sent as part of their duty to their jobs to go to the Philippines to have the ship worked on, with the understanding that they would be able to return to the FSM when the work was completed. Help me understand how we, as the leaders of FSM, can allow these people, our loyal employees, this young boy, to remain isolated on this ship indefinitely. These people have been away for too long. They deserve to be home with their families. They have been tested multiple times and all are deemed negative of COVID-19. We must move beyond the fear of this virus. We must support all our states in this great nation. We must educate. We must provide scientific assurance. We must build trust and unify our nation during this stressful and fear-filled time. For now, though, to start, we must prioritize the return of these people to their homes, and we must educate their communities to ensure they are not treated unfairly when they return due to the ongoing fear people have of the virus. We send these people away to do their duty. They have done their duty. It is now our duty to ensure they are treated fairly and return to their homes and their families immediately. We must set an example for our people. We must stand together with this unity. We must demand they be allowed to enter our borders freely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Salamat.
Thank you very much, Chairman Berman, for those words, statements. They're very important for us to reflect on our current situation, how we have, made people suffer through the circumstances of these times. So we must do our best as leaders to continue to address those kind of concerns. Thank you very much. Okay, any other point of privilege? If none, there's no other resolution. We will go on to introduction of bills and resolutions.
Speaker,
Yes, Floor Leader,
Mr. Speaker.
say your point.
Speaker, I rise on a point of privilege to ask if we can remain on resolution calendar so that I can make the motion for reconsideration of
Okay,
the confirmation resolution.
If there is no objection from members, we will now go back to resolution calendar. Okay, floor leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this Congress reconsider the resolution on the confirmation of Fabian Nimea.
Okay, any second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress reconsider its action on the resolution on the appointment of Mr. Nimea. Chief Clerk, what's the resolution number?
CR number 21-242.
Okay, that's on resolution number 21-242. It's not subject to debate, the motion to reconsider, so we will vote by the same number of votes are required to pass the motion to reconsider. That means at least 10 votes will be required for adoption.
Speaker, before
Yes,
we cast off our vote, I simply want to remind members that my intention is to have it pass and then defer it to maybe a future session.
Okay, so that's the plan. Okay, short recess, subject to call up the chair. For this back in session, Chief Clerk, announce the results.
For reconsideration of CR number 21-242, 13 members voted for, 1 absent.
For that reason, the motion to reconsider our action on Resolution 21-242 is adopted. Now, Resolution number 21-242 is placed on the resolution calendar for action. Florida Harbor. Oh, I mean, Chief Clerk, just read the title.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The resolution that we now have under the resolution calendar is CR number 21-242 for adoption. CR number 21-242 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Fabian Sita Nemea to serve as a member of the Telecommunications Regulation Authority or the Authority of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Okay, Florida Harbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to defer the said resolution to next session of this 21st Congress.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that resolution number 21-242 be deferred to the next session of Congress. Those in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion is adopted. Resolution 21-242 is deferred to the next session of Congress. Okay, next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Speaker.
Can I just ask that we hold off? I just want us to go down to the miscellaneous communication so we can get off that. Okay, is that okay with you, Chairman Berman?
Okay.
It'll take us a few seconds, huh? Okay? So let's go, if there's no objection, we will now go down to the next item, item 20, Chief Clerk.
Introduction of bills and resolutions.
If you have any measure to introduce, pass them on to Chief Clerk for introduction. Okay, next item.
The next item is item 21, miscellaneous communications. We have one and it's number 21-35.
Okay, Chief Clerk, sign that. Okay,
Mr. Speaker, I have a question.
yes, please.
Why don't we move, I know this has to do with rules, but move miscellaneous communications back up with the other communications, make it number 14 or something like, instead of coming all the way down here for it. That's it.
Okay, thank you. That's a good idea. LC, work on an amendment to our rules so we can take that up to among the other communications. Okay. So, any Chairman Berman, you have the floor.
Well, thank you, Speaker. I so move that we stand in recess till tomorrow at 10 a.m. Chuk time.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded that conference stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning Chuk time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until tomorrow morning Chuk time.
Makar.